What if K'Sante used energy instead of mana? I would argue that mana makes K'Sante more balanced because it means that if he's doing K'Sante things to you for too long in lane, he eventually has to go back to base. That's generally a good thing. Like generally, like a character having mana costs that when they can like do powerful things to you in lane is a good thing. Energy creates an interesting conundrum. What energy does is energy says you basically have unlimited resources in lane. Typically is how energy goes. And so that's a question you want to ask about a character like K'Sante is like, okay, if we gave him energy, would it be good for him to have more unlimited resources in lane? Because he would just get to use his spells on cooldown. An example of how this affects Mbessa. Mbessa is an energy chain. Her Q is is a really long cooldown. I think it's like 14 seconds or something. But like one of the reasons it would need to be that long is because when she's using it on cooldown, she's not running out of resource to, right? So that's like one of the challenges with, you know, giving a character infinite resources in lane is it has to have some combination of higher cooldowns or lower reliability or lower range, etc. So that would be the first question to ask if you wanted to remove mana from K'Sante. Is K'Sante doing infinite things in lane with his spells correct for him? It could be. I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong, but that's a question you'd have to ask. The other thing that energy does that's difficult is energy often says later in the game, and you will run out of energy in fight. So at some point when you're fighting someone, you'll just, you know, your kit will turn off in a way that like that doesn't happen with mana as long as you like enter a fight with a full mana bar, right? Or cast it. And so that's another question to ask is like energy is something that gates characters in other different ways. And so whereas mana says you run out of steam in lane, but then in team fights you kind of don't have to worry. Energy is kind of the opposite, whereas you don't run out of steam in lane, but in team fights you do have to worry to some degree because your character could eventually like, you know, run out of energy in turn.